Welcome to Retaliation Resale by Sean. Amazon versus eBay. Where to post is the question.
Everybody, how you doing? It's Sean from Retaliation Resale. And in this video, I want to talk to you about selling books. Amazon versus eBay, and which one is better. And actually, I'm just going to give you the answer right now. Go through the whole thing. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. It really depends on what book you have for sale. Amazon is more of the mass-produced, the more sort of common books, the more current books. eBay is better for older books, books that don't have barcodes, and even some textbooks, because on Amazon there are certain textbooks that you will be gated in, which means you cannot sell them on Amazon. The publisher has a deal with Amazon. They don't want people selling the used copies of the book, and they basically threatened Amazon with, if you sell these books used, we will not sell them new on your platform and you'll miss out on some revenue. That's what the publishers will do to Amazon. They can't do that to eBay because eBay doesn't have any direct deals. It's just a platform, and they take a cut of the profits when you sell an item. eBay has less book sales. You will make less money when you sell your books, but you get more of the profits. You get a bigger percentage of the profit. Amazon is quicker. The books generally will sell for more money, but then again, Amazon also takes more of the money. So you have to sort of weigh the pros and cons. I am going to discuss a book, the McDonnell Douglas A4 Skyhawk. This is a book I listed back in November 11th and it sold on April 8th. You're about to see a screenshot from an app that I use called Scout IQ. This is an app that I use when I'm scanning books for Amazon. It'll tell me a bunch of particulars that I use to figure out what's what. If you look, you'll see that there are 9 used books for sale, the cheapest being $35. There's one new book for $94, and you'll see an eScore 0, which means that it has 0 days with sales in the last 6 months. So this book has not sold one copy in the last 6 months. The ranking is million, which is quite high. The best-selling book has a ranking of 1. It's the number 1 book. And then the higher the number, the lower the rank. People will say, oh, you don't want to sell anything with a ranking over 1 million. I sell books in the 1 to 3 million ranking, all the time. But 5.3 million is quite high. That's for Amazon. For eBay, if you look at the screenshot, you'll see that it has had 3 sales, in the last 6 months. One included free shipping. There's $13.25 plus $53 shipping because that one came from the UK. And a book sold for $21 with free shipping. So basically, the book that was $16.37, they made about $8 profit, give or take. The book that sold for $21.90 made about $13 profit. Seeing this, 3 books sold on eBay, nothing sold on Amazon. You would think probably eBay would be the way to go. But I opted for the other way. I opted for Amazon. And the reason being is all those 9 used copies that you see, they're all in the left column, which is FBM, fulfilled by merchant, which means basically somebody did it like eBay. They sold the book and they're shipping it from their home. Amazon is really big with their Prime service. And when you sell it FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, I'm a seller. I send the books into Amazon, goes to the warehouse. I am a FBA seller. I will generally get the buy box. If the prices are the same, when you look at the book, the first listing that pops up will be mine. It will be a FBA seller. So I know that if somebody's looking for this book, since there aren't any other sellers that are selling fulfilled by Amazon, then I'm going to get the sale. So I opted to list that book, and lo and behold, 5 months later, I sold it, and I made $21.35. Now that's not the end of the story. I wanted to show you the screenshot where I sold it, and things have sort of changed a little bit. There were 11 used books now and 2 new, so the amount of books have gone up. If you now look on June 5th and the thing is, once the book sold, it had the 5.3 million. Selling 1 copy in 6 months, it went back down to 2.2 million as far as the ranking goes. So quite a big difference. If you look, it's now green up at the top. That means that if somebody else had punched in or scanned this book right after I sold it, the app would say, hey, yeah, sell it. You're going to make some good money. That was back in April 28th. Today, June 5th, if you look, the ranking has now jumped up to 4 million because there hasn't been an additional sale. There are 9 used copies, 2 new copies for sale, but there's no FBA sellers, no fulfilled by Amazon sellers. It's all merchants selling books from the house. But the lowest is now $27.99. So somebody had this book and said, oh, this book doesn't sell well. The lowest price is $36.38. So I'm just going to undercut them by $8.50 and sell it for $27.99, which is a really screwy thing. If you're a bookseller and you've had this book, you're about the same level in the $36 range. Somebody now comes along, undercuts you by $8.50. That's the new buy box. That's the new price that Amazon is going to sell it. They list it, boom, they're going to sell it, and you're going to be like, I've had this book listed for 6 months, 9 months. And some upstart comes in and undercuts me by $8.50. Now I don't have the sale. I might have to wait another 4, 5, 6 months before somebody wants to purchase this again. In this case, you want to be a fulfilled by Amazon seller. You don't want to be selling it by merchant. Or you can list it on eBay and sell it for in between $16.37 and $21.90. But instead of making $21.35 like I did, you're going to make between $8 and $30. Hopefully this video hasn't confused the hell out of you. I've been selling used books on Amazon for about 7 years. I've been selling on eBay for 2. I'm always weighing, where am I selling this book? Am I selling it on eBay or am I selling it on Amazon? So I hope I haven't confused the hell out of you. But this has been Sean from Retaliation Resale. Please do your own research. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Bye.